Welcome, Red Knight.
Alrighty, hello there everybody, good to see you. Going to get to a short stream here today for other rehearsal and callbacks tonight, but want to say hello for another good fun here soon. We'll take a look at Out of the Aeons, Lovecraft story, and a couple other script things, and get to Grim Dawn, other fun times here soon with Hogwarts Legacy and the rest. Good to see you, Vexalia, been a little while there. Glad to welcome you on back.
Welcome back.
Alrighty, well, we shall get to some good times here for the little bit of time we have for now. Exciting fun, good to see you. Thanks for starting off our chat for the day there, Vex. We look forward to other good times. Glad you enjoy, Vex. We also have a voice mod available. Let's do a quick demonstration for that. Voice mod ready and good to go anytime. There's one of our many features. Enjoy some new champion commands, other cheers, and other good stuff like that. Vex, champion commands, we have quite a few for you, but welcome back for now. And yes, look at Out of the Aeons. Wanted to send some other scripts around. I'll get to that some point. Just looking to get nightmares out there somewhere. It's just hard to attach them per se to this actual Facebook, so maybe be able to find those. Nightmares 16, is that the most recent version? to make little edits, you know, dedicated to specific people so that they can see that, but we'll figure it out here and there. Get to out of the Eons, at least that last 10 minutes. It is a longer story here for our Lovecraft tales, so this will definitely take a little while to get through multiple parts. Nothing we're gonna try to attempt right now, so probably 2 or 3 parts for that. We'll see how much we can do for next Tuesday. But since did not get to stream yesterday, other auditions and things, auditions and rehearsal yesterday, it's like tonight, did not get to stream in time. Had to head out pretty early for that, so a lot of driving yesterday, quite the far trip, but we'll get to it in due course. You could join us for a good bit there. Vex, fun times in the Dragon's Roost. And if I can just get these scripts ready, hopefully attached. Let's take a look at Nightmares 20. Okay, so the one I found in Documents folder is indeed not the latest version. We do have indeed Nightmares 20, much more new version, so glad I noticed that and just attach right away. I like to, you know, make it out a little special to people anyway, so we can just do a little title there and fun. Speaking of the writing, as we are just chatting and such here. So yeah, there is Nightmares. I believe this was indeed the most recent version. Yeah, so Nightmares 20. We just make specific copies for people to just dedicate to them there, so that'll work. Okay, looking good. We'll just send a few of those out. We'll have the chance, and we will get to Out of the Eons before the end today. Hopefully going fine, going good. Oh, I also do have some memories to share, other schedule and things. I'm all back to our original Baldur's Gate, yeah, quite a while back there. 2 years back, it's showing me those memories, so that's funny. Schedule for the rest of the winter, yeah, like 7 to 10. And it was a good time. Baldur's Gate, other good fun. Those early days of the stream, so that is nice to see. A little memory there. Alrighty. Let me just make out a few of these. Hopefully spell people's name right is always nice, but try our best, you know. Okay, let's make out a couple of these dedications for the fun of it. A few other versions there. No, which is Nightmares and the Wedding Night in that sequence, because Wedding Night, it technically wrote it first, but it was supposed to be like after a time of great turmoil has ended, so that seems fitting for after all the hard stuff with Nightmares, so we'll try that. Try that for now. Alright, bit by bit there. Get to some good times with that. Hopefully the attachments work fine. Let me test that out right now. Done that in quite some time. And the Wedding Night, where would I find that? That's another tricky spot, so I'll have to take a look at that and check it out. Will be pretty good though. Due course. Searching other pictures, stuff like that. Pretty awesome indeed. Vexalia, it's a nice name too. Alright, to get to our tale here a little bit for now. Where would Nightmares Wedding Night be? Wedding Night be somewhere here. Surely. Final draft for the Wedding Night. There we go. Let's see if this works on Facebook. I think it would, just because it's ODF or whatever this weird neat office I have here. Hopefully that would work fine. Yeah, ODT actually, yeah. Instead of like PDF or Word document. Well, we'll try. ODT, hopefully. We'll still get it across there. I think it should. Just neat office, kind of weird. Okay. We'll send out a few here. Other people. The right people, that would be helpful. What did they change their name to, perhaps? Let's take a look. Numbers, the other people were phone calls and things, but that'll be just fine. The reading, good fun. Get to a few minutes we have left to start off out of the Aeons. Longer time soon to come. But still glad it's, good status for the week. Hopefully we'll figure out time tomorrow and such. Yeah, tomorrow I look at actually pretty free compared to these last couple days. Just rehearse on the evening, so should get some more Thursday adventures for sure. Doing a little update for Hogwarts Legacy actually, so make sure that is done tonight or whenever. Back to the rehearsal, callbacks. We'll sort it out. Alright, it is not showing me a lot of these weird features. Chat members. Ah, okay, just their name was different than I remember, basically. Okay, that will work. Just, I wouldn't say their name, but respect some privacy. See what other things will be allowed for streaming as well, rehearsals and such, but... Good time, thanks for the hug there, Vexalia, nice to see your gray avatar today. Alright, let's properly save that, not too bad. Ding ding. All right. Okay. Got it. Send that over as well. These people I've discussed with it in person, not just send them out of the blue. Other people I've let them know, but hold on. Okay. Almost got it done. Yes. Yeah, a couple for now, at least it's something. Get more in the future, but we want to move on to a good story today and enjoy Vexalia's company. So let us see. Wedding Night and Nightmares sent out. Hopefully that's all we need. Alright, then let us begin. Story for now, get to these other various things in the future. For now, just checking in for the week since we have not streamed since Monday. And let you know things are alright between rehearsals, auditions, callbacks, productions, many things going on this month. So, and to prepare for future months. Some of them will even perform to like June and such or before, but you know, early process for some, accelerated process for others. Alright, frame drop not too bad. Just little things on Messenger there. Believe we got what we need. Lovely stuff. Let us begin Lovecraft Tale for the day then. Hope you enjoy the beginning of what will take us at least 2 or 3 different revisits, but a fun time to start. And do believe we haven't read this one before, so let us begin here at the 16-minute mark with Exalia and all friends here in the Dragon's Roost. A very great place to be. Hope to see you more often. Enjoy some champion commands. Another great fun. Nightbot, voice mod available anytime. Here for Out of the Aeons by H.P. Lovecraft for Hazel Heald. Message found among the effects of the late Richard H. Johnson, Ph.D., curator of the Cabot Museum of Archaeology, Boston, Massachusetts. It is not likely that anyone in Boston, or any alert reader elsewhere, will ever forget the strange affair of the Cabot Museum. The newspaper publicity given to that hellish mummy, the antique and terrible rumors vaguely linked with it, the morbid wave of interest and cult activities during 1932, and the frightful fate of the 2 intruders on December 1st of that year. All combine to form one of those classic mysteries which go down for generations as folklore and become the nuclei of whole cycles of horrific speculation. Everyone seems to realize, too, that something very vital and unutterably hideous was suppressed in the public accounts of the culminant horrors. Those first disquieting hints as to the condition of one of the 2 bodies were dismissed and ignored too abruptly, nor were the singular modifications in the mummy given the follow-up which their news value would normally prompt. It also struck people as queer that the mummy was never restored to its case. In these days of expert taxidermy, the excuse that its disintegrating condition made exhibition impractical seemed a particularly lame one. As curator of the museum, I am in a position to reveal all the suppressed facts, but this I shall not do during my lifetime. There are things about the world and universe which it is better for the majority not to know. And I have not departed from the opinion in which all of us, museum staff, physicians, reporters, and police, concurred at the period of the horror itself. At the same time, it seems proper that a matter of such overwhelming scientific and historic importance should not remain wholly unrecorded. Hence, this account, which I have prepared for the benefit of serious students, I shall place it among various papers to be examined after my death, leaving its fate to the discretion of my executors. Certain threats and unusual events during the past weeks have led me to believe that my life, as well as that of other museum officials, is in some peril, though the enmity of several widespread secret cults of Asiatics, Polynesians, and heterogeneous mystical devotees. Hence, it is possible that the work of the executors may not be long postponed. Executors note Dr. Johnson died suddenly and rather mysteriously of heart failure on April 22, 1933. Wentworth Moore, taxidermist of the museum, disappeared around the middle of the preceding month. On February 18th of the same year, Dr. William Minot, who superintended a dissection connected with the case, was stabbed in the back, dying the following day. The real beginning of the horror, I suppose, was in 1879. long before my term as curator, when the museum acquired that ghastly, inexplicable mummy from the Orient Shipping Company. Its very discovery was monstrous and menacing, for it came from a crypt of unknown origin and fabulous antiquity on a bit of land suddenly upheaved from the Pacific's floor. On May 11th, 1878, Captain Charles Weatherby of the freighter Eridanus, bound from Wellington, New Zealand to Valparaiso, Chile, had sighted a new island unmarked out on any charts and evidently of volcanic origin. It projected quite boldly out of the sea in the form of a truncated cone. A landing party under Captain Weatherby noted evidences of long submersion on the rugged slopes which they climbed, while at the summit there were signs of recent destruction as by an earthquake. Among the scattered rubble were massive stones of manifestly artificial shaping, and a little examination disclosed the presence of some of that prehistoric cyclopean masonry found on certain Pacific islands and forming a perpetual archaeological puzzle. Finally, the sailors entered a massive stone crypt, judged to have been part of a much larger edifice, and to have originally lain far underground in one corner of which the frightful mummy crouched. After a short period of virtual panic, caused partly by certain carvings on the walls, the men were induced to move the mummy to the ship, though it was only with fear and loathing that they touched it. Close to the body, as if once thrust into its clothes, was a cylinder of an unknown metal containing a roll of thin, bluish-white membrane of equally unknown nature, inscribed with peculiar characters in a grayish, indeterminable pigment. In the center of the vast stone floor was a suggestion of a trapdoor, but the party lacked apparatus sufficiently powerful to move it. The Cabot Museum, then newly established, saw the meager reports of the discovery and at once took steps to acquire the mummy and the cylinder. Curator Pickman made a personal trip to Valparaiso and outfitted a schooner to search for the crypt where the thing had been found. Though meeting with failure in this matter, at the recorded position of the island, nothing but the sea's unbroken expanse could be discerned, and the seekers realized that the same seismic forces which had suddenly thrust the island up had carried it down again to the watery darkness where it had brooded for untold eons. The secret of that immovable trapdoor would never be solved. The mummy and the cylinder, however, remained, and the former was placed on exhibition early in November 1879 in the museum's Hall of Mummies. Solved. The mummy and the cylinder, however, remained, and the former was placed on exhibition early in November 1879. The Cabot Museum of Archaeology, which specializes in such remnants of ancient and unknown civilization as do not fall within the domain of art, is a small and scarcely famous institution, though one of high standing in scientific circles. It stands in the heart of Boston's exclusive Beacon Hill district in Mount Vernon Street near Joy, housed in a former private mansion with an added wing in the rear, and was a source of pride to its austere neighbors until the recent terrible events brought it an undesirable notoriety. The Hall of Mummies, on the western side of the original mansion, which was designed by Bulfinch and erected in 1819 on the second floor, is justly esteemed by historians and anthropologists as harboring the greatest collection of its kind in America. Here may be found typical examples of Egyptian embalming from the earliest Saqqara specimens to the last Coptic attempts of the 8th century. Mummies of other cultures, including the prehistoric Indian specimens recently found in the Aleutian Islands, agonized Pompeian figures molded in plaster from tragic hollows in the ruin-choking ashes, naturally mummified bodies from mines and other excavations in all parts of the earth, some surprised by their terrible entombment in the grotesque postures caused by their last tearing death throes. Everything, in short, which any collection of the sort could be well expected to contain. In 1879, of course, it was much less ample than it is now, yet even then it was remarkable. But that shocking thing from the primal Cyclopean crypt on an ephemeral sea-spawned island was always its chief attraction and most impenetrable mystery. The mummy was that of a medium-sized man of unknown race, and was cast in a peculiar crouching posture. The face, half shielded by claw-like hands, had its underjaw thrust far forward, while the shriveled features bore an expression of fright so hideous that few spectators could view them unmoved. The eyes were closed, with lids clamped down tightly over eyeballs apparently bulging and prominent. Bits of hair and beard remained, and the color of the whole was a sort of dull, neutral gray. In texture, the thing was half leathery and half stony, forming an insoluble enigma to those experts who sought to ascertain how it was embalmed. In places, bits of its substance were eaten away by time and decay. Rags of some peculiar fabric, with suggestions of unknown designs, still clung to the object. Just what made it so infinitely horrible and repulsive one could hardly say. For one thing, there was a subtle, indefinable sense of limitless antiquity and utter alienage, which affected one like a view from the brink of a monstrous abyss of unplumbed blackness. But mostly it was the expression of crazed fear on the puckered, prognathous, half-shielded face. Such a symbol of infinite, inhuman, cosmic fright could not help communicating the emotion to the beholder amidst a disquieting cloud of mystery and vain conjecture. Among the discriminating few who frequented the Cabot Museum, this relic of an elder forgotten world soon acquired an unholy fame, though the institution's seclusion and quiet policy prevented it from becoming a popular sensation of the Cardiff giant sort. In the last century, the art of vulgar ballyhoo had not invaded the field of scholarship to the extent it has now succeeded in doing. Naturally, savants of various kinds tried their best to classify the frightful object, though always without success. Theories of a bygone Pacific civilization of which the Easter Island images and the megalithic masonry of Ponape and Non-Matal are conceivable vestiges were freely circulated among students, and learned journals carried varied and often conflicting speculations on a possible former continent whose peaks survive as the myriad islands of Melanesia and Polynesia. The diversity in dates assigned to the hypothetical vanished culture or continent was at once bewildering and amusing, yet some surprisingly relevant allusions were found in certain myths of Tahiti and other islands. Meanwhile, the strange cylinder and its baffling scroll of unknown hieroglyphs, carefully preserved in the museum library, received their due share of attention. No question could exist as to their association with the mummy, hence all realized that in the unraveling of their mystery, the mystery of the shriveled horror, would in all probability be unraveled as well. The cylinder, about 4 inches long by 7/8 of an inch in diameter, was of a queerly iridescent metal, utterly defying chemical analysis and seemingly impervious to all regions. It was tightly fitted with a cap of the same substance, and bore engraved figurines of an evidently decorative and possibly symbolic nature. Conventional designs which seemed to follow a peculiarly alien, paradoxical, and doubtfully describable system of geometry. No less mysterious was the scroll it contained, a neat roll of some thin, bluish-white, unanalyzable membrane, coiled round a slim rod of metal like that of the cylinder, and unwinding to a length of some 2 feet. The large, bold hieroglyphs extending in a narrow line down the center of the scroll, and penned or painted with a gray pigment defying analysis, resembled nothing known to linguists and paleographers, and could not be deciphered despite the transmissions of photographic copies to every living expert in the given field. It is true that a few scholars, unusually versed in the literature of occultism and magic, found vague resemblances between some of the hieroglyphs and certain primal symbols described or cited in 2 or 3 very ancient, obscure, and esoteric texts, such as the Book of Ebon, reputed to descend from forgotten Hyperborea, and Panacotic fragments alleged to be pre-human, and the monstrous and forbidden Necronomicon of the mad Arab Abdul al-Hazred. None of these resemblances, however, was beyond dispute, and because of the prevailing low estimation of occult studies, no effort was made to circulate copies of the hieroglyphs among mystical specialists. Had such circulation occurred at this early date, the later history of the case might have been very different indeed. A glance at the hieroglyphs by any reader of von Junt's horrible nameless cults would have established a linkage of unmistakable significance. At this period, however, the readers of that monstrous blasphemy were exceedingly few, copies having been incredibly scarce in the interval between the suppression of the original Dusseldorf edition, 1839, and of the Bridgewell translation, 1845, and the publication of the expurgated reprint by the Golden Goblin Press in 1909. Practically speaking, no occultist or student of the primal past esoteric lore had his attention called to the strange scroll until the recent outburst of sensational journalism, which precipitated the horrible climax. Alrighty, we shall pick it up there for the Out of the Aeons, soon to come, part 2. That is the end of part 1. So on to chapter 2, part 2 next time. Now is a great time to get a Streamiversary video part 2 edited, and I think I'll, since it didn't work to export in 15-minute segments, just make each section itself, and from there upload that one at a time, since going to a rehearsal now shortly, and callbacks after that. Now would be a good time to start that fun export. So let's take a look at that. Alright, we are looking good for that. We might as well keep that ready to go. And yeah, we're just looking at it here for Streamiversary part 2. We can edit that in date. So you'll see here the intermission, coming back from intermission for the first part of part 2. Start with Hogwarts, I believe. And you see a few chatters there after that, so I don't believe any other copyright issues until after this. So let's just pick it up from intermission. Wait, what was that? That was weird. Oh, Vexalia was there for Streamiversary too. Just a little deja vu, kind of weird. Alright, we had the dreams like there, and we picked it up after intermission, so I'll get this first part ready.
Lovely.
Right there, perhaps. That's a pretty good part, wherever it is. We'll come back shortly after that, so. Alright, Hogwarts, we played a couple hours before we switch over to Another World, right here. So, before Another World,
You up here?
we can start the next part.
You up here yet? So
Let us find the good point
imagine that's
to end it there
they're
somewhere.
pretty straight. We'll pick it up with Anthroporivan soon. We'll eventually figure out how to test the tone for the character. Didn't quite get to that yet, but
That was
it's
alright.
not such a big deal.
We
Probably
figured
make
that
it
out
a full
eventually.
time for the lady character
Audio
tomorrow.
didn't need to
and
make
will be
the
great.
Slither
For
instance
now,
then, so it's fine.
Another world beckons, and another world we shall enjoy.
Yeah, that's a good point to leave that before we get all the Game of Thrones stuff.
Good enough.
I think that's right. Left
Imagine that's how we'll pick it up with Anthroporivan.
I think that's, yeah, proper fitting there. So yeah, I'll be for the first part there. Export that and start to upload. That's a good 3 hours before we got to the rest. The entirety of it was like 7 hours or something. Yeah, the entirety was 4:39. So okay, so that's 6, 7, 12. Yeah, about 7 hours. Close to that. So now I'll get the first 3 hours here. Hogwarts. Let us export that. Medium quality should be fine. And Streamiversary 2 Part 1 going to be uploading right away. Alright, good to see you for now, Vex. Thanks for coming back from Streamiversary. And I'll see you guys hopefully longer good times tomorrow. We got a good 40 minutes for now. A little discussion, playwriting, editing, exporting for this Streamiversary, and the start of Out of the Aeons by Lovecraft. So that'll be good for a start to that. Get the thumbnails and such here ready soon. And we will make all those however much we need. Part 2, Part 3, we shall see once we read it next time on Tuesday, most likely. So, looking good for now. We will pick it up here very shortly. Just getting this export done in the meantime. Yeah, longer times tomorrow. I'll get back to Hogwarts and maybe some Grim Dawn, other fun like that, fitting for these readings. Make me want to play Grim Dawn and such, so we'll see. But in any case, we'll be back to it more time soon. I'm off to a rehearsal here very soon. And yeah, when it's good to get a good balance of the reading out there, because tonight, actually, for the callbacks, we're not reading from the scripts. It'll be more of a improv and body movements for characters. So warm up for that. But Lisa, got a bit of that balance out for today for reading from the script, like I usually do, reading from the book. So we'll see how it goes for these improv other auditions. And next part of that callback. So we shall see. Then I'm on to the rehearsals tomorrow as well. And Friday and Saturday are the main performances. You have the final run through and the final bit. I'll let this export finish in the background. I wanted to, it is taking a while to export. I wanted to get the upload started, but yeah, I'll do that in a bit before I head out first. So until then, guys, till tomorrow, we'll be back. Thanks for joining for a bit of Lovecraft fun. Pick it up here soon. Gonna be great. Look forward to it till Thursday. Fun times tomorrow. Have a nice night, and I'll see you after rehearsal, after callbacks, before other rehearsals and performances. Till then, catch you later. Be back. Have a good one for a bit of Lovecraft fun. Pick it up here soon. Gonna be great. Look forward to it till Thursday. Fun times tomorrow. Have a nice night, and I'll see you after rehearsal, after